What is up guys, Greedy Knight here, talking about the wirebugs. These little bugs were cool at first glance, but after seeing how integrated they are in the mechanics of the game, I've decided to talk about them in depth on a technical and conceptual level. Before we get into the video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. I want to hit 100 subscribers before Rise comes out. Anyways, roll the clip. If we look at the Monster Hunter Rise website, wirebugs are the main focus of this game. Without taking away from existing mechanics in the way that Styles and Hunter Arts did, they created a game mechanic that not only incorporates the benefits of Styles, it also eliminates all of the negatives and drawbacks associated with them. When I look at Monster Hunter GU, I see three main gimmicks that transferred straight into Rise: aerial vaulting, Hunter Arts, and weapon-specific attacks. Wirebugs combine all three of these mechanics into a single, cohesive, and simplified mechanic, while fixing the flaws of its elements in the process. In order to explain how wirebugs fix these flaws, I have to discuss them in detail first. Aerial vaulting was cool in theory, but in terms of execution, you always relied on objects to be in the area in order to vault. You could not vault over the monster without first landing on it. This restriction made the style unusable for gunners who like to maintain a healthy distance from any and all monsters. Also, you lost your normal evade in exchange for a vaulting animation, which has stressed me into danger more times than I can recount. In addition, the mechanic itself was finicky at times, with the odd landing boxes not registering, and it had a learning curve to use at its full potential, which wasn't all that rewarding, truth be told. How does the wirebug address these issues? It removes the vault's reliance on objects and monsters entirely, linking them to set cooldown based uses that can quote-unquote vault to any location your reticle can aim at. You can jump anytime you want as long as your wirebug gauge has life in it. Because of this, it simplifies how verticality is achieved. You don't have to learn where you can land on the monster, whether your vault roll will land successfully, or what type of weapon you are using. Styles to begin with were somewhat exclusive depending on what style and weapon you use, and wirebugs enable every weapon to use the mechanic without having to suffer a downgraded version of their weapon. If you observe closely, the way the wirebug actions function is based on a tweaked version of Hunter Arts, while many of the weapon-specific Silkbind attacks resemble augmented versions of weapon-specific Hunter Arts and style-specific attacks. From a technical standpoint, Hunter Arts started the quest at 0 charge while they filled up every time you hit the monster. Various styles allowed you to equip a certain number of arts, 3 being the max. The Hunter Arts are separated into generic and weapon-specific. What is wrong with these qualities? In my opinion, nothing is inherently wrong with this design, but there's a better way of implementing the way these arts would work, and it shows in how wirebugs were designed. You have a full charge of both bugs at the start of the quest. One of the biggest gripes I had with Striker style was that my Hunter Arts didn't do anything until later in the hunt. Small cost Hunter Arts weren't going to do very much in ways of damage, while the good high damage arts had a long charge time. Wirebugs fix this by inverting how you start your quest. You have full charge on all of your bugs, and you can get an additional bug found laying around the map. At the start of the hunt, you can use your wirebug actions whenever you want. Having it set on a cooldown also meant that time was your friend. You could just wait for a recharge instead of trying to desperately slap the monster until your art was ready. The wirebugs let you have access to all of your generic actions, while also giving you access to your weapon-specific Silkbind attacks. Unlike Hunter Arts, you don't have to choose which one to pick before the quest. Instead, you are given a better option where you have access to all of these actions, and you pick which actions to use and when to use them, assuming you have the right amount of gauge. In terms of customization, Hunter Arts had an interesting concept, but the realistic limitations always came down to optimization over novelty. I still don't know what half of the arts do because I didn't use them, and they were supposedly suboptimal based on the forums I visited, so I never experimented with them. Wirebugs don't have that limitation, so it is my speculation that more people will experiment with the various actions because they are more readily available. Styles always took something in exchange for additional moves or arts. For every weapon they had their quote-unquote best style, but it was always in exchange for missing out on the usage of a specific move or locking them behind style-specific gimmicks. In contrast, Wirebugs didn't restrict movesets or restrict the use of Wirebug actions. Instead, they acted purely as a supplement to existing movements. Based on the recent set of trailers, all of the important moves are there for the weapons, while the Silkbind moves and Wirebug actions give additional options to attack the monster. It gives you a choice as to how to approach the monster without any of the hindrances given by the arts and style system. From a design standpoint, I believe the Wirebug mechanic is the next step forward for Monster Hunter. It elevates the skill ceiling by giving veteran players a plethora of high damage options to eliminate a monster, but the design itself is not restrictive for new coming players. This creates a high skill ceiling for veterans with a low skill floor to ease newer players into the mechanic and the game. This type of mechanic is ideal because you appease veterans without discouraging newer players from joining the hunt. That's it for the video. I will continue with the weapon meme trailers in pairs being put into one video, but I will do an analysis video once Twitter cools down. I will try to get 2 normal format videos up this week through all of the chaos. Apologies if I'm lighting up your YouTube feed, but I need to get to at least 100 subscribers before Rise comes out because I want to get my foot in the door for content making purposes. Anyways, see you in the next one. Greedy Knight signing out.